Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty blog, and welcome to this week's Pick 5. Now first and foremost this week, before we get to our 5 properties, the folksy intro, as it's called. Origin of this is, of course, one of my blog readers once said something about once I skip past the folksy intro, because I'll always start with something personal, my mom took serious offense. And she posted back and said, I enjoy the folksy intro. Anyways, on the blog this week, guys, there is a lot of information about what's happening in the market, specifically listings and sales. So on Monday, we talked about how sales are down across the board. Most areas are down 50%. Downtown condos, only down 16.1%. Now, a reader had commented and said, David, you're telling half the story. What about corresponding sales figures? Really good point. I followed up on Wednesday with a blog about the sales figures. Now, the sales to new listings ratio, or the absorption rate, is essentially a ratio of how many sales are there as a percentage of new listings. And it's not to say that those new listings themselves have sold, but if in a given week you have 100 new listings and you have 50 sales, those sales need not be of those specific 100 merely, right, of the full pool of listings available. So that's how quickly the market can absorb inventory. And what I did was I compared to last year in the same period, and well, go take a look at the blog to see the results. But I will tell you that, of course, the absorption rate is down. So I figured this week, guys, I wanted to look at some houses, and I did try to look at condos. I just didn't find anything interesting. And something kind of neat happened. There are 4 houses for sale, essentially in the same city block, in a very nice area, which, as you saw from the intro, is Bloor West Village. So I was thinking about going out to the West End, and, well, we've got West End, specifically Bloor West Village, and we've got detached 3 bedrooms. So today we'll look at 3-bedroom detached in Bloor West Village. 4 of these are north of Bloor. One of them is south of Bloor, which is technically Swansea. But I thought this would be neat to kind of compare and contrast, because we have list prices that range from $1,350,000 all the way up to well over $2 million. So without further ado, and this is where we put on the glasses because we're not getting any younger, let's take a look at the map. So this is neat. This is what I meant. It is very rare that you will find 4 properties for sale in essentially the same city block. So 2 are on Colbeck, one's on Windermere, and one's on Durie. But if you were to draw a box around this, it is less than a city block because this is a city block. So really neat. If you wanted to live in Bloor West Village and you're like, well, what's for sale? I'd like to see some variety. Well, come on down to the corner of Durie and Colbeck, because half the damn block is for sale. Now the other one, as mentioned, unfortunately I couldn't find a 5th one in the same city block, so I found this one on Durie as well, which is nice because of course there are 2 on the same street. So could not believe the amount of stuff for sale. And as far as school districts go, and let's go back to the idea of the school district, because of course these are family homes. We have Swansea and we have Runnymede. Now these are 2 really, really good schools. So here's Runnymede. And Runnymede, for those of you playing along at home, ranks an 8.2 out of 10. 228th out of 3,000 plus schools. So it's a great school. It is very, very sought after. And this is, among other reasons, why families move to Bloor West Village and why they value the area. Now Swansea, what? 8.6, 131st out of 3,000 schools. So bottom line, and if we want to, can we go over here on the right? So you see here Garden is an 8.7. Now Garden is in Ronces. Fern is a 6.2. And I bring those up, of course, because, and even Parklawn's a 7.2, because those are the kind of schools, and those are here and here for those of you that are already a step ahead of me. I bring this up because often, you know, we say, well, what are we really looking for here? Is there a difference between an 8.2 and an 8.6? Not really. You're basically ranking it based on test scores of 60 kids or something like that. So if there's a school that's a 5.5, I'm going to hazard a guess it's probably not the best. And again, I'm not an educator, but I'll say anecdotally, what it comes down to a lot of the times is what's the percentage of ESL students, English as a second language. The higher proportion, probably the worse the test scores are going to be. There's something to be said for the affluence in the area. If people make more money, then they can pay for after school, extra reading, Kumon. They have money for nannies and, you know, babysitters and things that, you know, to pick your kids up from Kumon, etc. So I think the issue with this measure, and I know I'm outside the realm of a real estate agent, is that sometimes it doesn't take into consideration what are the teachers like? What's the parent, home and school? That was from the 80s, home and school, the PTA, whatever. What's that like? What are the facilities like? And these are the kind of things like I occasionally get emails from people that are teachers or even principals and say, I like your pick fives, but you're judging everything by one test score. It's not really fair. So anyways, that's out of the way. The point is an 8.2 and an 8.6, phenomenal schools. We'll just leave it like that. So we'll take a look, guys, here, and we'll start at 56 Durie. So 56 Durie, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to scroll right down so you can see. Offers welcome June 4th. So we are back to holding back offers. This is not a $1,350,000 house. So it's listed at $1,350,000. You're not getting a detached in Bloor Village for $1,350,000. So we'll scroll down here again. Thousands spent on recent updates, including roof, electrical, plumbing, and landscaping. Can I just say how helpful I find that to be? You have exactly 463 characters, and I know this because I used to write it out by hand. Jesus Christ. 463 characters in the client remarks. There's nothing I hate more than when someone says, and I mean they spell with 9 M's. Smell the fresh baguettes from the corner bakery while standing on the patio of your new home. Does that really tell me anything about the house? And if there's anyone that's actually lured in by that, they're like, oh, Jenny, did you see the one listing that's near the bakery? No, I don't care for that. I also don't care for lining up in front of bakeries. Sunday morning, I was driving along Mount Pleasant to go to Shoppers. 2 bakeries on Mount Pleasant. Both of them had people lined up. Maybe I'm just boring. So thank you for letting me know about the roof, the electrical, the plumbing, and the landscaping, as opposed to simply telling me, that you can smell fresh baguettes from the front porch. So we'll take a look at the house itself. As I said, it is a detached. It is a 25 by 90. And this thing, right, could use some updating. But the bones are solid, and did I mention it's detached? So here's where you have to decide, and these are all detached today. You have to decide how much do I value a detached home versus a semi. So I was with clients the other day on Highfield. Excuse me. I was with clients on Highfield, and I said to them, would you rather have this house for $100,000 less as a semi? And they said no. They paid the $100,000 difference. Not everyone is like that. So detached 25-foot lot. It is nice and wide. These are original French doors. These moldings, this trim, everything in here is original. Some people don't like that. Some people want to keep some original character and charm. So nice big French doors leading through to the dining area. Most people are going to want to take this wall down. And you know what? Go for it. Take the wall down, put an island in there, right? So you're going to take out this wall, and you're probably going to redo the entire kitchen. So I'm already putting together a $150,000 renovation for you. Window over the sink, that is so cute, so quaint. But you get the idea here, guys. This thing is in decent shape, but it's fairly original. So what I like about that listing is telling us about things like the roof, things like, I can't remember what else was in there, but we know that this is an older house. We can see from the photos it's an older house. I mean, all we really need right here in lieu of this monitor, which probably isn't plugged in and there's no actual computer, is like one of those giant ones from back in the day. Reminds me in the year 2002 when I went back to McMaster for my 4th year of university. I paid extra for the flat screen computer monitor through Dell. It showed up in a box this big. I said, what the hell? I wanted a flat screen. And they said, oh, you meant flat panel. So I thought I was getting, like a monitor that's only this thick, because that's how thick they were. And they meant that the screen was flat as opposed to convex. Yes, concave in, convex out. Anyways, that was not worth $100. But do you remember how big the monitors were? We had one at 96 Besbro. I swear to God, it was, can you see this? Yeah, see the LaDainian Tomlinson jersey in the back? It literally was like that deep. Anyways, younger people are like, dude, shut up, you're so old. So there's 30 photos here. We'll keep going. As I said, this thing needs work, but basement finished, right? Not beautiful, but the point is the ceiling height's there, right? It's insulated, it's plumbed, it's wired, it's ready to go. It does have this pillar that you wouldn't get in a new property, but a new property would be $2.5 million. So I think this has a ton of potential. It is move-in ready, but it is also, in need of a renovation. So I will say, and this is kind of neat, some people don't care for this, right? But the lot is a bit different, right? You've got your back deck here, and then it slopes way down. They've got a kind of a neat garden. So some people are going to say, geez, who maintains this? Is it a water slide? Is it a mudslide in the rainy months? But lots of curb appeal. And then, sorry, let me go to here, right? You can see building in the back. So exactly where is this 56 Durie? Well, it's here. And it backs onto, as I said, building in the back, Swansea Town Hall residences. So if you care about the fact that, you've got, instead of your neighbor's trees, you've got a brick wall there, maybe that affects the value a little bit. And, I've made note of this many, many times over the years, is that there's a fire station around the corner. So again, this is the one that's south of Bloor. The other ones are all in the same block. So it is in Swansea School District, which is down here. You are how far from High Park? You are how far from the Humber? You've got the park down here, Rennie Park. This is the school right here. I can read as good as you, okay? And you're 3 blocks from prime Bloor, Bulk Barn. What happens in Bulk Barn now if you want to go in? Like, you're not using your hands, your COVID hands. You probably tell them what you want. Maybe annoying people like, no, 280 grams is too much. They take a scoop out. No, 270 grams is too light. Like, that's a real job, right, for whoever that is. Okay, so let's move on. From 56 Durie, 1,350,000. Again, your guess is as good as mine in this market, what it's actually going to go for. It needs. It needs that wall removed in the main floor. Now, somebody could buy this for 1,350,000, 450, whatever it is, 475. They could buy this, move right in and do the reno down the line. Not a bad move. School district's amazing, location's amazing, street's quiet except for the fire trucks. And that might be the move. Or you're buying this, you can put $200,000 right into it. Okay, let's move on to 321 Durie. So you can see it jumps from 56 to 321. Where is 321? Well, it's not that far, right? It's on the other side of Bloor. Bulk Barn, yes. So again, school district here is Runnymede as opposed to, oh geez, we're going too quick here. So Runnymede is over here, it doesn't show up, as opposed to the Swansea School, which was down here. But again, you are steps to TTC Subway, which is something very few people can say in the city of Toronto. On the Bloor line, you're walking distance to High Park. It is the same for all of these properties. So this is an interesting house. We have a detached 2-story. It's wide, 24 and a half. It is deep, 154. We're 3-bed now, we're 3-bath, main, second, and basement. So we still don't have that master ensuite, right? $1,499,000, $999. Hello. And here we see offers reviewed at on June 9th. June 9th. So the house is vacant, which is what a lot of people are doing now for COVID reasons. Curb appeal, well, you got a few trees in front, so this is where they took the photo from. I would agree with that. Curb appeal to me is there. And I like the big inviting porch. Where we get inside, or once we get inside, I will say, is where this thing differs. So it is a very unique house, and I might have taken a different strategy here. The issue with unique is that it won't appeal to everybody. So if you were listing at what you think is low and expecting to get multiples, excuse me, hello, if you are looking to get multiples, you may not get it because of how unique it is. So for example, I don't care for backsplash on the ceiling. I don't really love it. And then you've got a floating staircase, which I think is very cool, but people with kids or pets sometimes don't like it. So you've got a pretty unique vaulted ceiling here, coffered ceiling. My wife calls it coffeed ceiling. I would paint out the blue and call it a day, right? And then all these built-ins. So we have a really narrow table, right? We can't actually fit someone in here. So, push the table out a little bit. Again, we've got the backsplash down here. And then, the kitchen, a lot of photos here. The kitchen's big, man. It's a step up to it. So this has an addition off of what is probably the original footprint. And the lacquered cabinet look, some people don't love. There's a bathroom behind here. But again, like, you've got this mosaic going all down the staircase. Wine fridge built in. Oh my God, this phone's just ringing off the hook right now. So yeah, I don't love the lacquered cabinets. Holy moly. And I don't know, this is a bit of a mismatch, right? Like, if it was white and black, that's kind of neat. White, what's mine? Mine's like light brown and white. This is like beige and dark gray. But But you've got gas in here. So a lot of really nice features, but some things, again, the mosaic backsplash, whatever you want to call it, some things in here that I think some people just might not love. Tile floor, for example. So again, you get upstairs and it's a bit cleaner, just in terms of the tastes, right? Nice back deck. We're using one bedroom as an office. Not huge. And as I said, 3-bedroom, and you've got the 3 bathrooms. So you've got the powder room, and then here is your big bathroom, and then you're gonna have a little one downstairs. So this is where you'd expect to see a rec room. Oh my God, I was all set to buy the Rogue Echo bike today, okay? If you're familiar with CrossFit. I got the email, they were sold out within 30 minutes. I was out on an appointment. What the hell was I supposed to do? Buy it from my phone? Sold 1,500 Rogue Echo bikes in 30 minutes. I know, because I called a guy at Rogue. Very nice gentleman in Ohio. So turn this into a little bit of a home gym, and then it walks out to a nice big rec room. So I think the basement's awesome. This is basically a hallway, so use it for that gym if you really want to. But the footprint here is massive, and maybe that's the difference with this house, or what I'm not really conveying, is that they have blown the back of this house out. It's still only a 3-bedroom, but it's a massive footprint. So they've got a 154 foot deep lot, and as you can see, they've got a hot tub, party time, and then parking at the back. So this is legit parking. So this back here is backyard. So interesting layout, because usually you go down the deck and you have a little grass here and a garage here. Now this, you can park here if you want to. You actually go on the other side of the garage to get to the rest of your yard, because it's 154 feet deep. So, I mean, what's this thing gonna sell for? Well, I mean, this I might have priced at $1,699,000 and had offers anytime. So to see it priced at $1,499,000 with it being as unique as it is, time will tell. Let me bookmark this one and come back to it. Location's amazing, school district's amazing. It hits most of the marks. It doesn't have an ensuite, but then it would probably be in a different price point. It is a massive, massive footprint, and that's what I love about this. I just personally don't jive with the finishes. All right, moving along here. Let's take a look at the next one here, guys. This is going to be Windermere. Holy moly, just blowing up. Let me just do this. Let me close that, okay? Yes, here we are, 532 Windermere. Okay, first thing I'll show you is this, 14 days on market. All right, so there's no offer date. It's sitting. What have we got? And why are the other ones holding back offers? Well, 532 Windermere, basically the same area, right? I got a client around the corner on Grassmere, super quiet street, amazing property. This one here, same school district, same walk to Bloor, same everything. Now it is a 30-foot lot, it is 100 deep. It's a 3-bed, it's a 2-bath. You don't have the main floor powder room, you do have a mutual drive, detached 1-car garage, and it says family room. It says family room. Is there a family room? Not seeing one, right? Family room is supposed to be on the main floor, but it doesn't look like it has one. So this one's an interesting comparison to the one we just saw, because I said the last one was listed at $1,499,000. I would have listed at $1,699,000. It's a huge footprint. I don't love the style. Now this is a fair footprint, right? This is basically the same layout as the first house that we saw. The first house that we saw, ICGM put in a ton of work. So same basic living room, of course, much nicer finishes. You've got pot lights, you've got crown molding, you've got even the molding here around the fireplace, which is wood burning, which still works. You've got original leaded windows. You have the original sliding pocket doors. And then they've opened it up, which is exactly what I said you would do with the first one. So you've got an open concept dining. You've got the, that's really nice. Sorry, I'm being distracted by like that. I think that's called abstract. I really like things. I don't like a picture of, sorry, I like pictures of things. I don't like paintings necessarily of things. I like things that are like that. Cool story, Dave. So that's what I'm talking about, right? You want to open this up. You don't have to take the whole thing down. Here they left a half wall so that you don't have that complete division like you would in the original footprint, but you're also not losing the storage space on the other side. This to me is very nicely done. I have no idea why this is not moved. Sorry, I'm being really annoyed right now. And then it's a really busy day. And then you've got here original flooring, right? So this probably had carpet on it for 50 years, and that's why they were able to actually refinish this flooring and keep it. You do have radiant, which doesn't really bother me. Some people prefer forced air. For some people, it's actually a deal breaker. Upstairs, right? Is that 3rd bedroom or is that family room? right? So that's probably what they're calling their family room. They've basically made it into a family room, but it is a bedroom. So downstairs you have the three-piece. Downstairs you have a nice little rec room. It's not huge. But what's interesting about this one, guys, is that I don't know why this hasn't moved. You know, it checks all the boxes. So $1,695,000, maybe it's a bit tight, right? Because we go back to this one here, this is 24 and a half, 154, $1,499,000. We go back to the first one, $1,350,000, right? This thing's not going to sell for $1,350,000. It's going to sell for more. But 56 Durie to $1,350,000, 532 Windermere to $1,695,000. Remember I said initially $1,350,000 could go for $1,450,000. I mean, this is not bad. It's not bad at $1,695,000. So I don't love the fact they've got here master, second, third den. And there are no floor plans here because I wanted to get a sense of we've got bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3. Yeah, bedroom 1. Don't do this to me now. I was just about to make my point. Bedroom 2, bedroom 3, right? And so I do believe that this is actually its own spot. And I thought initially that this was, as you can tell, there are a lot of distractions today. My dog's staring at me. Still bringing her to work. Initially, I thought, see, this thing's not working, that was one of the bedrooms, but it does look like it's its own room. So if this is a tandem, for example, it is off one of the other rooms, well, how usable is it? If it is its own space, these guys could be calling this a 4-bedroom. And again, that's part of the reason why I think $1,695,000 is not bad. So maybe it's just not finished enough, right? It's a 30.68 foot lot. That's big. And I go back to this one here, and at 24 and a half, we're not splitting hairs. I did not love the finishes in here, but maybe somebody will, and maybe that's why they're going to get their over ask. I just think this is not a bad price at all. This is the kind of house that, to me, when I see it, I know we're in Bloor West. Okay, so now we're going to see 2 houses on Colbeck, and I'm going to get a little more comfortable. So this one here, Bella, please. This one here offers gratefully accepted Wednesday, June 3rd at 6 p.m. So that is today. By the time you are watching this, we will know if this thing has sold. But $2,149,000, 30 by 114, 3-bed plus 2, 4-bath. Don't love the basement apartment because, I mean, yes, it's rentable. You're very close to the subway. People at this price point, they don't want a basement apartment. They want a rec room. So is this price for multiples, or are we merely holding back offers? We'll get to that in a moment, because the house across the street is also for sale. Remember that I told you that there were 4 houses all in close proximity. Well, again, as I said, this has the look to me of a Bloor West Village house. I would love to know if we can get rid of this pillar. I mean, your house might fall down, but it would look a lot prettier if it only had one on the left and one on the right. So really, really nice house, no question about it. Staircase is in a different position. We have a living at the front, and again, very, very different layout, right? We've got that wall there, here. So because of the position of that staircase, we have this small room at the front, and notice that they've done this see-through here. So they could have taken the entire wall down, but they wanted some separation, so they did a see-through fireplace, and then on the other side, there is your dining. So, kitchen, beautiful, no question about it. And the big difference with this house is that you've got an adjacent family room. Now, here's the question. Is this really a real family room, or is it just an oversized kitchen? So, in a new build, you would expect to see a kitchen with a family room off of it, and then you've got a living at the front and a dining in the middle. When you do not do it properly, when the floor plan was not done by an architect, when you've got a builder that maybe, you know, took floor plans and then just stretched them a little bit to match his lot size because you don't want to hire a proper architect. If it's not done properly, it often does not look and feel like a real family room. So, because there is no TV in here, my question would be, how would you set this up to actually make this a real family room? And I could pull up some photos and show you what a real family room looks like. I think you get the idea, right? It's got to have depth. It's got to have a wall-mounted TV. It's got to have a couch that's set back far enough that you can actually watch it. Because here, what are you really doing? You're just sitting and watching somebody cook. So I'm not going to say yes or no on that, right? Here's your dining. Here's your family. I will say that it has potential for it, especially because of the lot size. Now, the house itself is just gorgeous. Really, finishes are really nice. And, you know, vaulted ceiling, big picture window, cool little barn doors opening to the bathroom. No complaints, right? No complaints here. Huge walk-in, right? That's probably my first complaint. So when you get upstairs, and again, this could be for many reasons. This could be a topped up bungalow. This could be, plans that don't work. As I said, architect that's maybe, or sorry, somebody that hasn't hired an architect. This is where the fourth bedroom would go. So they've called this a +1. And this desk, this is, I don't know where it's from, but Bosley's ordering all these desks for the new building. We're moving offices, right? So this, again, no one really wants this upstairs. This serves no purpose. Now, growing up in the 80s at 128 Parkhurst Boulevard, had what we called a landing. And I put all my toys there as a kid, and my brother put his toys there. And that's where we would play in the morning. My sister still reminds me, banging against my door while I was trying to sleep. Right, with G.I. Joe Man. So I think this could be a cool kids play area, but you've got the basement, you've got the main floor. So what I look at here is, why didn't we make this into a 4-bedroom, and then we could have got our price. 4-bedroom, yes, hell yes, we would have got our price. Because there are $2,149,000 holding back offers. Gorgeous house, right? Absolutely love this place. And here's downstairs. I just think that might have been the issue. So again, I don't care for a basement apartment in a $2+ million house. I don't think someone's buying this and saying, geez, I really think we can get into the area if we can just get someone in the basement for $1,500 a month. Now, truth be told, this thing would sell, or this thing would lease for $1,500 a month, maybe even more, even though it's just a basement. So floor plans, right? Here's my rub. Let's zoom in here. Can we zoom in and maybe crop this if you don't mind? So we have a master, we have a bedroom, and then we have a sitting room. So you could put a wall here if you wanted to and make this a 4th bedroom. Would it feel too small? Would this bedroom feel too small? I don't care. I don't care. If I'm the seller, if I'm the listing agent, if I get called into a house with this floor plan, the first thing I do is say, do you know anyone that can do some drywall work? I would put a wall here, I would put a door here, and I would call this a 4-bedroom. And that would help with the value. Now, lower level, bedroom, kitchen, living, dining. Amazing apartment. I just don't think anyone wants that basement apartment. So for me, guys, this house is a no-go. This house is a write-off. I do not believe that someone is going to pay $2.2 million or more than $2.2 million for a house with a basement apartment. And yes, it's a 2-bed, and I was wrong. I said $1,500. I was thinking a 1-bedroom. I mean, it's a $2,000+ unit, which is great. I just don't see the growing family wanting to have 2 people living in the basement. All right, now 104 Colbeck, I'd like to introduce you to my friend, 105 Colbeck. Now this is the kind of house, remember when I said I feel like I've seen this house a million times when I was looking at Windermere? This is the kind of house I know I've seen this 10 times. Let's click on the history here. Tell me I'm dreaming. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look. 105 Colbeck, it's an estate sale. And this sells when? February of 2017. What happened then? Oh, right. A syringe of steroids was injected into the market. 975 list sells for $1,211,000. So that was in February. And then what happens? Maybe the deal doesn't go ahead. So point being, sorry, what I meant there was, maybe this thing didn't close, right? We had $1,211,000, it closed in February. They could have brought it back onto the market in May because, some deals were falling through back then. Remember how crazy that was. Now this one I will say, and I can't show you the names on the listing, but I will say that this was an estate, and when they brought it back out, there's 2 people's names on here. So what that tells me is that maybe these guys were flipping. Maybe they put together some plans. Maybe they were speculating. I don't know. But it came back out at $1,199,000, didn't sell, raised the price to $1,399,000, and then they held it right through to the fall and they sold it for $1,330,000. So I don't know that they did anything to it. I think maybe they did plans, maybe they wanted to build and they changed their mind. They paid $1,211,000, land transfer tax, realtor fees. I mean, maybe they broke even. So I've seen this thing multiple times, and now it's on the market, and now it's a finished home. Now I also feel like I've seen this house and seen this house because they all look so darn similar. What I will say about this is that the last house that we just saw, this one here, I didn't love. I think it had great potential. I just think the build was wrong. This one, more my style. So you've got a 3-bed plus 1 4-bath. It is tenanted. They paid $6,100 a month for this thing. That tells you that's a nice house. So like the look from the outside, front pad parking, and nice covered porch on the inside, very sleek, nice storage space at the front, open concept, and they've got the stairs in the same method that the last one had, right, which is off to the side, sort of perpendicular as opposed to straight up. But this one's a little bit more open. There's a better flow. The other one had that wall that separated the living from the dining, and it made the living useless. Now, I will also say that this doesn't really have a proper living, dining, kitchen family. So it's still not exactly what I would like to see, but I like the finishes more. I like the windows more. There's just a lot of a better feel in this house. It also doesn't have that basement apartment that I really didn't like. So you're gonna have to decide here, is this my dining area? The other folks wanted to make that into their family room. I also don't like a 4-person glass table in a house I'm paying over $2 million for, right? You wanna be able to have 8-person dining. This is a bit overkill in my opinion, you don't really need it. But this one just has a better feel to me. I like this house more. So go upstairs. Oh my God, go upstairs, right? Okay, so don't care for that, that's fine. Go upstairs, no staging, right? So not helpful right now, we're just looking at empty photos. Now it is tenanted, so I'll give them that, right? They took some photos from whenever this was and they used them on MLS. Not the best way to sell in my opinion. For an asset of this value, you absolutely should be getting the tenants out, staging it, cleaning, painting, etc. for top dollar. I don't expect this to move, although that's probably why it's been on the market for 26 days. So love the big picture windows. I've got this kind of style with the black window frames at my house. I've mentioned many times, I didn't love my house when I first bought it, which is really weird. Love the style that is. It's totally grown on me. I have the same washer dryer. Cool. Okay, so basement. And here's where you can see that this is not a completely new build, not only because of the ceiling height, but also because of the position of the ductwork and then the pillar that we've got down here. This is roughed in here for what? For a kitchen? Maybe. As I said, I don't love basement apartments at this price. Cheap flooring, you can already see it's starting to split here. What is this, a carpet over here? So it's a bit of a mixed bag. I like this one more, but I don't love this. I don't love either of them. And so 104 and 105 Colbeck, what's the comp that they're using? 2149 and 2222. They're probably using 108 Colbeck. So 108 Colbeck sold for $2,062,750, and it sold in October of 2019. Now, what does this one look like on the inside? Well, first they've got a covered porch, which is kind of neat. You walk in, okay, I'm feeling it. I'm liking it a little more. I would say that I love this compared to the last two. Again, same family room situation, which is couches pointed out to a TV that is non-existent. They left this, right? This is where an extension might have gone on. This might have been the old brick window overlooking the backyard. And just a different position. They've got dining room over here. They've got family room over here. They've got a living room at the front. Let's go back to that. So I like this one more. I don't love any of the three of them. You know what? I would say I very much like this one. Unfortunately, it's sold. But this is the house that they're using as the comp. And the issue that I find with a lot of builders, God, I want to teach a course someday or write a book or something. It seems so simple to me, right? This is a very nice floor plan. And it works. And it makes sense, right? Like even the little things like original basement, but the ductwork's off to the side, right? It's just so much better done than the last one. And so you're using this one here as your comp, and you know, Buddy over here puts a basement apartment in that doesn't work, right? You've got the room at the front that has the wall that I don't love, and you know, I love the kitchen. It's very pretty. It's nicely done, but it's just it's lacking. It really is. It's lacking the big picture. And the big picture is, and I'm sorry if this sounds repetitive, I refuse to believe that someone that's going to drop over $2 million in their family home wants to have tenants in this basement down here. And with this one over here, right, they're using that as their comp, third 26 days in the market. I don't think that showing photos of an empty house makes sense. It's tenanted. You're selling during COVID. And again, we go back down to the basement. Where was it? You know, like very, very different feel down here. Roughed in, unfinished. You've got the pillar. You've got the really crappy, cheap laminate, right? That's got the holes in it. It's not the same thing. So, we've got our friend at 2149. We've got our friend at 2222. We've got our comp here. And you know what? I think these guys are going to be disappointed. Now, these guys here have 2149 and they're holding back offers. I will bet you that this does not move on offer night. Either because people aren't interested, or because the seller had illusions of grandeur about what they're getting, or even worse, both. So guys, I'm going to leave it there because I think we have covered everything we wanted to cover. We are looking at houses that are priced anywhere from $1,350,000 to up over $2 million. And all of these houses, as I mentioned, are basically a stone's throw from each other, which is kind of cool because I don't think we've ever done a pick 5 before where we had 4 properties all in one block. So guys, the market's moving again. If you're a buyer, if you're a seller, it is very different from the end of March and the month of April. May was decent. I'm going to put together the stats for a blog probably on Monday. I think I've done enough stats for this week. Probably do an MLS musings post on Friday. But on Monday, we'll dive into the May stats, which I think show that things dropped, things were bad, it was a pandemic, things are moving now. My prediction is the months that we lost in a very busy spring market, we will see pop up in the summer instead. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. That's it from me. See you next week. Bye for now.